Take a moment and imagine the rest of your life, living in a small space where you cannot stretch your legs all the way, and the weight of gravity is so great that you become a hunchback. This sounds like a terrible way to spend the rest of your life, doesn't it? This is the reality of many aquatic animals in captivity. The condition that these creatures, like whales, manatees, and dolphins, are living under are horrendous. SeaWorld refuses to act, even with the release of the documentary Blackfish, which is on Netflix. You should watch it. If you recall, in 2010, an orca named Shamu killed his trainer in a very tragic way. Although it was staked as an accident, this was no accident on the whale's part. Shamu is the orca's name, given to him for the stage. His real name is Tilikum. Tilikum was taken from the wild to perform in shows at an aquarium somewhere. His mother was killed in front of him so that they could capture him, and that was only the beginning of his horrible life. After being captured, he was put in a holding tank with 2 larger female orcas who constantly beat up on him. And then, in training, if he didn't do the tricks correctly, he would be deprived of food. During this time, he killed 2 other trainers and 1 of the female orcas. Shortly after the death of the second trainer, SeaWorld purchased Tilikum and forced him to perform. Currently, the fate of Tilikum is still undetermined. More than likely, he will just remain in captivity until he dies. Another problem with the captivity of large aquatic mammals is that a whale can dive up to 2,992 feet, and they swim over 100 miles a day, but their tank is only 80 by 90 feet and 36 feet deep. They would have to swim this length over 1,000 times in order to swim their 100 miles in the wild. Something, if you've ever seen on a whale, is that in SeaWorld they have a bent-over dorsal fin. That's the fin that sticks out of the water. This is not a healthy sign. Only 1% of whales in the wild have a bent dorsal fin, and this is an indication of disease and sickness. The bending of the dorsal fin in captivity is due to the fact that they cannot go deep enough for the pressure to maintain the strength of the cartilage. This is an extremely controversial issue. People that support SeaWorld support it adamantly. However, SeaWorld is terrible for animals that need space and freedom to explore. SeaWorld does not support the bond between mother and child of whales. They will separate them before they're 4 years of age, which would never happen in the wild unless there was a tragedy. They claim to maintain a healthy social structure. However, because the whales are so close together, they become agitated and fight often. In the wild, a whale can swim away, but in SeaWorld, they're stuck and often attacked and injured. SeaWorld claims to prioritize rehabilitation and conservation. However, often they claim to release animals back into the wild. They are really profiting by selling them to other aquariums. They even do releases and then go and capture them the next day so that they can double their profit. A larger problem is that one of the reasons that SeaWorld is what they are is because they were built around rescuing whales and other animals, but their lifespan has shrunk so dramatically that it's not worth it. The longest a whale has lived in captivity is 30 years. The average length of a whale's life in captivity is 6 years. But right now, the oldest documented whale living is 100 years old and counting. These are significant problems in the way that we as humanity see entertainment. Yes, being able to see the majesty of a giant is incredible. However, seeing the majesty and the miracle in the wild would be so much more satisfying than seeing a sad, angry creature and tempting these naturally gentle beasts to harm us and themselves. Do the natural world a favor. Do not support corporations like SeaWorld. Support freedom of sea creatures and maintain the natural circle of life. Please visit www.seaworldofhurt.com to learn more about the atrocities of SeaWorld and the similar establishments and what you can do to help.